Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs, we have gone from the daily dose of the Fanny to the daily dose of the Trump. This is a summary of day 2 of the New York State persecution of Donald Trump, brought to you by the Soros-funded corrupt Alvin Bragg, being conducted by the judicially corrupt Juan Marchand. It's the Stormy Daniels hush money payment that is being dubbed as election interference. You can't make this stuff up. The only election interference going on right now is brought to you by the Soros-funded corrupt Alvin Bragg at the hands of the judicially corrupt Juan Marchand. Day 2, jury selection. At the end of day 2 jury selection, we have now selected 6 jury members who have passed the test to be among the 18 jury members who are going to sit on this board of jurors. The 6 jurors thus far that have been selected are described as follows according to a tweet that was sent to me from @BenRTrader. Breaking: first 6 jurors in Trump trial sworn in. Not looking good for Trump. Juror number 1, the foreperson, is a man born in Ireland who works in sales and lives in Harlem. Juror number 2 is an oncology nurse at Memorial Sloan Kettering who lives on the Upper East Side. Juror number 3 is an attorney who lives in Chelsea. Juror number 4 is an IT consultant who lives on the Lower East Side and is originally from Puerto Rico. Juror number 5 is a charter school teacher from Harlem. Juror number 6 is a software employee who works for Disney and lives in Chelsea. Now, I cannot purport to appreciate the geographic importance of where these people live. I don't know what the politics are of these various areas. I know I've heard of some of them, but I don't know about the demographics, the politics, whatever. So I don't know what this represents. But the big news of day 2 of the jury selection was not who they selected, not even who they rejected, which I'll get to in a second, but rather the motion for contempt that Alvin Bragg brought against Donald Trump. We'll get there in a second, but first about the jury selection.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order!
From what we have seen thus far, it's patently absurd to assert or believe that Trump is going to have a jury of his peers in this particular jurisdiction. There is not going to be a jury of Trump's peers. This is going to be a lynch mob. What we have seen from the jurors who have been disqualified is that a great many of them said they are incapable of being impartial in the context of this trial, meaning that it's such a wild demographic. It is so clearly biased against Trump, it may as well be in DC. Some of the jurors who are conscientious enough have said they cannot possibly be unbiased in this case. They were let go. And the ones that are left, well, they might just be the ones who are incapable or unwilling to admit that they are incapable of being unbiased. It doesn't really matter. What is clear, patently obvious, is that Trump is not going to get a trial in front of a jury of his peers in this particular context, in this particular jurisdiction. It's a joke. It's a preposterous notion to think it's going to happen. What we've seen thus far has confirmed that the entire jury pool is politically tainted. It's not going to be a trial. It's not even going to be a persecution. It's going to be a kangaroo Soviet-style show trial. And for anybody who's wondering what's on my wrist, this was a gift from a sub from a member of our Viva Locals.com community. Each one of these has one of our commonly used phrases. Good, how goes the battle? Confession through projection. They're beautiful. I love them. Now back to the fact that Trump is never going to get a fair trial in New York. Among the jurors that have been excluded, well, they went back and looked at some of their social media posts, and they're not even hiding it. I wonder how many people sitting on that jury pool right now waiting to get selected are out there scrubbing their social media. The bottom line, it's a politically tainted jury pool, period. End of story, full stop. And obviously whoever you get is going to show signs of bias through social media posts, through things they've said in the past, or through the outright admission, recognition that they are incapable of being unbiased in the context of this trial. But we're not going to have a change of venue because those things are not granted anymore. It doesn't matter. Bottom line, 6 of the 18 have been selected. There is no jury selection tomorrow. It comes back on Thursday. We'll see where this goes. It looks like they might have a full 18-member jury pool. I think they use 12 and they have some backups, alternates just in case. It looks like we might have it by the end of the week, which might be a little faster than people expected. But this trial is scheduled to last 6 weeks in the context of the 2024 election. Trump is expected to attend every day of the trial. If he doesn't, he might waive his right to be present at the trial. And not only does he have to sit down for 6 weeks in the context of election season, he has been gagged. And not only has he been gagged, but today Alvin Bragg made a motion to show cause, a motion for contempt, on the basis that Trump violated his gag order with a few certain select Truth Social posts. When we read these Truth Social posts, it's going to blow your freaking mind.
It blew my f***ing mind!
I'm not going to go over the motion for contempt. It's a little repetitive. It's a little boring. It goes over the procedural posture of the case. It goes over the fact that Judge Juan Marchand issued a prior gag order. That is the one that Trump is allegedly in violation of. That the prior gag order restrained Trump's speech as relates to family members of the court, the judge's family, the DA's family, etc., but also witnesses and potential witnesses. And they're going after Trump now on the basis that some of his Truth Social posts go after the witnesses, that being the convicted perjurer Michael Cohen and the demonstrable liar liar and porn star Stormy Daniels, you will not believe the exhibits that they filed in support of this motion, the posts that they are trying to flag that are purportedly violative of Judge Juan Marchan's gag order. You simply won't believe it, but just a couple of highlights. On April 10, 2024, at 10:48 a.m., defendant published a post on his Truth Social account attached as Exhibit D that contained a picture of a document titled, quote, Official Statement of Stormy Daniels, end quote, dated January 30, 2018, which refers to facts that are directly at issue in this criminal trial. Defendant accompanied the picture with his own statement, quote, all caps, look what was just found. Will the fake news report it? Question mark, end quote.
It blew my f***ing mind!
And the answer, Donald Trump? No. Not only will the fake news not report on it, but these fake corrupt judges and these fake corrupt DAs are going to go after you, try to fine you, and try to put you in jail for bringing it to the attention of the general public. And FYI, Trump was being a little hyperbolic in that tweet. This wasn't just found. This is old news. Trump is recirculating old news, and Alvin Bragg is trying to purport that recirculating old news with the hyperbolic commentary, just found, will the fake news report on it, that is violative of the gag order and should warrant either a monetary fine or jail time for Trump. On April 13, 2024, at 12:56 p.m., defendant published a post on his Truth Social account attached as Exhibit E that stated, quote, has Mark Pomerantz been prosecuted for his terrible acts in and out of the DA's office? Has disgraced attorney and felon Michael Cohen been prosecuted for lying? Only Trump people get prosecuted by the judge and these thugs. A dark day for our country, MAGA 2024, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, end quote. And for those of you who might have been living under a rock for the last decade, Michael Cohen is a convicted, admitted perjurer. He is, in fact, a convicted perjurer. There's no question about it. There's no opinion here. There's no lies. There's no accusations. There's an outright statement of fact, and that is apparently violative of the Judge Juan Marchan's corrupt gag order, and Trump, for speaking to the general public, is now the object of a motion for contempt, which is going to be heard on April 24th. Warning, your failure to appear in court may result in your immediate arrest and imprisonment for contempt of court. Upon reading and filing the affirmation of Assistant District Attorney Christopher Conroy, dated April 15, 2024, and the exhibits annexed thereto, and good cause having been shown on the record before the court, it is hereby ordered that pursuant to Judiciary Law Section 750A3, defendant Donald J. Trump show cause before the Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of New York, the Honorable Juan M. Marchand presiding, located at 100 Center Street, Part 59 in Manhattan, on the 24th day of April, 2024, 2:15 p.m., or as soon thereafter as counsel may be heard, why this court should not issue an order granting the following relief. This is wild. This is wild even for a kangaroo court. This is wild even if it were in Russia. If you were to see this in Russia, nobody would believe that Putin or the regime out there would have the audacity, the brazen audacity to do this. You would expect something like this out of North Korea. This is as much of a kangaroo court show trial as Otto Warmbier's 1-hour trial that he had in North Korea, before which he was sentenced to 13 years hard labor. This is fundamentally un-American, and any American who doesn't understand that is going to have problems beyond their wildest dreams, because if this continues, the country that we knew as these United States of America is basically over. I don't care how much you hate Trump. I don't care how much you think you hate Trump, because I don't think people have good reason to hate Trump. No matter how much you think you hate Trump, if you hate Trump more than you hate yourself and your own country, then you are the problem and not Donald Trump. There, I said it. So the summary as of day 2, they've gotten 6 jury members who are undoubtedly going to be unbiased because they scraped through by the skin of their teeth or did not admit to their own internal bias. And we've got Trump, who now has to present himself before the court on April 24th to show cause as to why he's not guilty of contempt of Judge Juan Marchan's corrupt and unconstitutional gag order in the first place. Now he's going to come and say, hey, when you tweeted that thing out about Stormy Daniels' own statement that she did not have an affair with Donald Trump, when you tweeted that out, did you violate the judge's gag order? So not only do you have to be subjected to an absolutely politicized and political persecution, you're unable to defend yourself in the court of public opinion, and now you don't get to know who the jury members are, by the way, because the general public is not going to get to know who these jurors are, so nobody will be able to do their due diligence as to what might have slipped under the radar. The jurors are going to remain anonymous to the general public. Trump is gagged in terms of what he can say about a pathological confirmed liar, Stormy Daniels, about a convicted perjurer, Michael Cohen. He's gagged, and when he does come out and state facts that the general public might not be aware of, that might prove his innocence, you get corrupt Soros-funded Alvin Bragg coming with a motion to show cause, and the corrupt Judge Juan Marchand taking it and saying, yeah, I think there's good order to show cause here. Come before me and tell me why you're not in violation of my gag order. Trump is being gagged. Trump is being railroaded. This is an outrage. That's the summary of day 2. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below. Viva Frei on Rumble, Viva Frei on Twitter, vivabarneslaw.locals.com on our bestest, most above average community out there. And go check out our community, because this week, there might actually be something very special involving anybody who chooses to be a supporter might be able to come to the Spartan race out in Florida on the weekend. So check it out if you're so inclined. If not, just get out there, exercise, eat well, talk to people in real life. Most importantly, do not despair, do not lash out, do not be provoked by these acts of provocation. Get out there, educate the people, and people will awaken one by one, slowly but surely. That's it. Now you know your vlog. Peace out.